Welcome back for the Sunday preview. So this is everything from the 30th of October. So this is technically the last week. This is everything that was available for pre-order on November the 5th. But we're getting back on the horse. I'm going to be pumping out content every day again. So I just wanted to go back. I didn't want to show this stuff because I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So I've got the video loaded up here, so we'll go through all of these things. And I just want to kind of talk about what this week kind of indicated going forward, because it did matter for kind of the tone that's going to be set for the upcoming month. So let's watch the video.
Welcome to This Week in Warhammer. My name's Nick, and let's take a look at what's happening in your favourite hobby over the next 7 days. It's time to dedicate yourself to the ruinous powers as the Slaves to Darkness Army launch set for Warhammer Age of Sigmar comes out for pre-order on Saturday.
The box is fantastic.
Packed full of brand new miniatures, battle tome, war scroll cards and enhancement cards, it's perfect for beginning your path to damnation. There's more for the Mortal Realms this week as Battle Tome Ogre Mawtribes strides into view to pre-order on Saturday. There's a slew of delicious accompanying releases to sate the appetite of any Ogre fan, including a packed Vanguard set, dice, war scroll cards, and the brand new hero, the Bloodpelt Hunter, all available to pre-order on Saturday. And if your bark is worse than your bite, get your oaken hands on the new tremendous Sylvaneth Vanguard set, also coming for pre-order on Saturday. It's a big week for Warhammer the Horus Heresy fans too. On Friday, pre-order loads of upgrade sets for both Iron Hands and Night Lords, and then the very next day on Saturday, Warhammer Horus Heresy the Liber Imperium goes up for pre-order. Alongside it, a host of Solar Auxilia models return to the range, and the
cool.
Devious Assassinorum agents from Cloud Venenum, Venus, and Adamus deploy for pre-order. Meanwhile, on Necromunda, the Prometheum Tank's refueling station arrives, as does the mighty Cargo 8 Ridge Hauler trailer, both up for pre-order on Saturday. It's a bumper week from Black Library this week, as you can pre-order The Patient Hunter by Phil Kelly, Kragnos Avatar of Destruction by David Geimer, audiobook The Curse of Cain by Gav Thorpe, as well as anthologies Only War, Conquest Unbound, and Inferno Presents The Emperor's Finest, all out for pre-order on Saturday.
A lot of cool books.
Marvel's graphic novel Sisters of Battle is out this week too, compiling all 5 issues of the comic miniseries into one beautifully presented edition. On Wednesday, head to Warhammer Plus to catch the last part of our Path to Glory Battle Report series for Warhammer Age of Sigmar as our Stormcast Eternals take on the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Also, check out another great episode of Lore Masters, this time all about the Stormcast Eternal Storm Hosts, and make sure you catch the Angels of Death Final Cut feature-length Blood Angels animation. Whatever is on your hobby desk this week, make sure you keep up to date with...
Alright, so I wanted to go over this just because with the Slaves to Darkness army set, this is the first kind of army set box for the Christmas season, I feel. So we're going to see a ton of these coming out. There's going to be the Christmas boxes, which should be previewed probably in 2 weeks. Usually it's about halfway through November, a little bit afterwards where we see those. In terms of this box, like if you're doing Slaves to Darkness, this is awesome. Whenever you get one of these boxes where it's all the new models, like it's really fun to pick these up. I think that these will be shown or sold separately very quickly though, because again for Christmas, like if you didn't get this box for Christmas, you're gonna, like, if this is probably sold out instantaneously, you're gonna want all these things separate. And like I do want this new Demon Prince, so to pump up the sales, they're going to offer these things separately almost right away. In terms of like again, you got the cards, limited edition battle tome, all the standard stuff that you get in this, so you're paying the premium for getting the model slightly early. But again, all these models are all cool. I like the aesthetic for Chaos in general in AOS. It's the old Chaos Warriors, but they just look way cooler. Like they're adding in some more creatures, the Demon Princes. It's all good, right? I'm gonna get a couple of these Demon Princes and convert them into different marks for the Chaos Gods, which I think is gonna be fun. So again, love those models. In terms of the Mawtribes book, like again, it's just the new updated books, right? You're getting new battle tomes for people, new codexes are going to be coming out. That's fine. Whenever these come out, you're going to get the Vanguard boxes. These are cool boxes, right? This is a box that if you're first starting Ogres is a fantastic box with the leader. But again, it's one of the ones where you probably don't buy 2 of them, right? There's very few of those boxes anymore where it's like, no, you just buy 2, 3 of these and then you have a full army. They've kind of gone away from that. The Bloodpelt Hunter, cool new hero, right? One-off kind of character, a lot of fun to paint, a lot of cool stuff on that model. For the Man-Eaters, Some of the coolest models I think that Games Workshop has brought out are the Ogre Man-Eaters. They have so much character to them. I've always loved all of these models, so that's super cool. They've got the War Scroll cards separate. I've sworn off these. I threw out a set of War Scroll cards. I've said it a bunch of times, but I never got to play with the army. And then the War Scroll cards were like they updated the book so quickly that I didn't get to play. So I'm good. But the dice these are fine. Like these look like plain dice, right? The white and the black. I'm very surprised that they did this. The symbol's fantastic for the 6, but they're very plain looking dice this time. The Vanguard Sylvaneth box. This is actually one that looks like you kind of could pick up probably 2 of them and make it worth your while. It does have that character, but you may be able to like pawn that off on someone possibly. But this is actually a really good box, I think. You've got the War Scroll cards for Sons of Bahamut. And then in terms of Horus Heresy, we're seeing those other books come out. So this is the Liber Imperium. Like, if you want to play those other forces, these will be the books for you. I am very interested to see in the long run, because again, like, Eldar and Orcs were in the Horus Heresy. They really could bring out rules for them, and then you'd have a real, I think, movement over to Horus Heresy, possibly, from way more people, but we'll see in the long run as it goes, because eventually I feel like they're going to really slow down on stuff, right? It's going to have to kind of move into that where they'll have to do new stuff. So we'll see. The assassins, I generally like that they're doing the different assassins. It's not just the 4 major ones that kind of appear the most in the books. There's a bunch of smaller groups that kind of do different styles that people don't really focus on a lot. But I like having representation of those models on the table. It's really cool. And again, having one of each of these in your army as a standoff thing is awesome. But the Clad Adamus Assassin, man, this is just a foot soldier. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this outfit, but it's very funny, I think. And the running pose is just wild. But anyways, it's that's a foot soldier from Ninja Turtles. The Solar Auxilia, I actually like the helmets a lot in the armor. It reminds me kind of Dead Space, right? It looks like this kind of futuristic, like the cheapest possible armor they could give someone to go into space with, right? That's what this looks like, and I like that for the guard. And then the surgeons in this set, I've always wanted to get this set, to be honest. I think they look wild, and they'd be really cool as kind of like a Death Guard conversion. And then the person that's on that, like, I don't even know what you call it, mini tank wheelchair, just great. I'd love to do something wild with that model. So fun. We've got more of the Solar Auxiliary. Again, love those models. Some of the old upgrade stuff that you can still get. It's more the shoulder pads for the Terminators, I think, would be probably a thing you'd want to get. I think that the Mark 6 shoulder pads, that if you have those models and you started Horus Heresy with that, these really don't fit on those because they scaled them up a little bit. But still, Night Lords upgrade, still cool stuff if you want to get some of that classic look. For the Goliath, we got the vehicle tactic cards, it looks like. But I'm really excited for the Promethean tanks and refueling station. Again, super cool terrain. I'm a big terrain guy. You could actually use the pipes that you buy from the other sets to connect these, because if you put these on the ground, I guess, vent or opening is the size of one of those pipes. So you could really make a standing set and have them be stationary and attach those pipes to them. So I always like when they integrate the new terrain with some of the old stuff. I think that's a better system than having these hard cutoffs with additions where it's like, okay, and that terrain's useless now and throw it away, right? Because that's happened a couple times where, like, terrain that you used to use is theoretically not usable with new 40k rules with different stuff. But anyways, I do like when they do callbacks and integrate it together. The hauler's fun. Like, all this stuff is just cool, right? It's all 40k. I like it a lot. The Ashways upgrade, man, those Goliath heads, these are so cool. I'd love to use some of these heads on different projects. They're great. The backpacks and everything are fine, but those heads are stellar. So Shadow Sun, the Patient Hunter, really cool looking limited edition. Absolutely love it. It's like, man, that art, they knock it out of the park sometimes, and that's really well done. The only war stories, I have to look into what stories are in this. I haven't purchased this yet, and I'm very on top of buying the books because usually they sell out. But a lot of these anthologies lately, they've been reusing a lot of stories that I've read, where there was a horror novel where it was like 75% of that book I'd already read. And I reread everything. Like I do enjoy those stories, but some of them were from just last year, so it was kind of jarring. Where I'm like, I'm buying these books and I'm rereading a lot of stuff. So I want to see what books or what stories are in there before I purchase that. Conquest Unbound. I love Stormcast stuff. Probably gonna pick this up. But again, this is an anthology, I believe, so I do want to do some digging into this as well. Kragnos Avatar of Destruction. I haven't really heard anything about this book. I may pick up the softcover and read it, but I usually, you hear rumblings if something's really good, and I haven't heard anything about that. I say rumblings with Kragnos, but anyways. So Inferno, Emperor's Finest. Again, these are including stories, short stories. A lot of the times the Inferno stuff has some cool new stuff in it, but has callbacks as well with old content. So again, I'll have to do some digging into that. Curse of Cain, old End Times book coming out on audio novel. If you enjoyed that book, go for it. Dark Imperium Omnibus. Oh, in German. Okay, we can skip all these books, and then the Sisters of Battle trade comic is cool because again, as these come out individually, I know for comics I always wait for trades to come out because dealing with all the individual ones is something I'm just not interested in. So I always wait for the hardback editions to come out. I'll probably pick this up at some point. I have not pre-ordered it though, just because I'm trying to take a break from buying so much stuff, but it's still really cool book, and at some point I do want to pick that up. We've got Armies on Parade, I know is coming up. A bunch of people getting ready for that. And it's funny with the Warhammer Plus where the Lore Master Stormhost things, like Stormhosts have been around for so long. I just fear doing a Lore Master video on that is kind of redundant. Like a battle report, fine, and then Angels of Death being like, hey, we combined all of those clips that we released or the episodes into one feature-length movie. It's like, you've already watched all those things. I don't know. Having that as being one of the 3 things they release is kind of weird. Again, I'm not on Warhammer Plus anymore. I opted out. But anyways, I guess you could rewatch that stuff again without the cuts in between. That was it for that week. Let me know in the comments what you picked up. Again, there's a couple bits and pieces here that eventually I probably will pick up with some of these things, but I generally think like AOS, great showing, right? This is some really cool stuff. Christmas is coming up. The Chaos Starter though is obviously the coolest thing this week. Even the runes and symbols on it, like, oh man, the cover art, it makes me want to be like, let's play Chaos AOS, but I'm going to refrain. But I will be picking up that Demon Prince once it comes out separately. I feel like it'll come out probably right before Christmas. I end up getting that for myself as a Christmas present. But anyways, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so much. And stay tuned. I'm going to get back on it. There's going to be a lot of content coming your way. So thanks everyone for tuning in.